Welcome to the Redemption Dynasty team call. It is what, the 14th, January 14th. Guys, I'm so excited. I have so many fun things to announce, and I'm so excited. I was like getting ready for this team call, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many fun things. Like I just got out of Super Saturday or Super Sunday, Super Weekend, whatever they're calling it now. And there was just so much good information, so many things that I'm so excited about. I don't know, I just can't wait. So I'm gonna share my screen with you, and we're gonna start with recognition. Share screen. So, can you see my screen? I'm always scared that I'm gonna share my screen, you're not gonna be able to see it. I'm gonna pull my chat up just in case. Okay. So this week, I'm just going to read the Success Club points. We have changed 8 lives so far this month, which is so exciting. Nathaniel is my brother. He's at Success Club 2. Sierra is at Success Club 4. Sierra, you're so close to hitting Success Club. One more life and you're going to be at Success Club, which is so exciting. And then I am at Success Club 10. Top recruiter this week was myself, and then top contributor. So that, if you don't know, top contributor is the person in the boot camp who is engaging the most. So it goes between comments and posts. And Sierra, you were the top, so congrats for stepping up as a leader and continuing to be engaging in there. I also want to explain Success Club points because I did have some questions. Success Club points, you get 2 Success Club points for every challenge pack you sell and or home direct order. So if you just sell Shakeology on home direct, you also get 2 points. So when we say lives change, we just divide our Success Club points by 2, and that's how many people we have impacted this far. Announcements. I have a whole bunch of announcements, and they're also exciting. I'm so excited. Okay. Announcement number 1, Team Cup. So every year, I think it's every February, I've never done it before, Team Cup is like a competition between all of Beachbody. And so these are the rules of Team Cup. So you build teams. It doesn't have to be anyone on your team. It doesn't have to be your downline. It could be any other Beachbody coach. Oh, hey, Sam. It could be any group of 5 Beachbody coaches. The rule is that you can only have 2 diamonds and 1 1-star diamond on the team. So you could have 2 diamonds, or you could have 1 1-star, or that says starry, 1 star or above on the team, where registration happens right now. So what I think I'm doing, I was talking to Mackenzie, and it's not solidified. I will give you the details when I have them officially. We're going to talk more probably about it tonight. I think Kenz and I are going to team up, so those would be 2 diamonds, and then out of our downline, so out of her coaches and my coaches, we're going to take the first 3 that either hit Success Club, or the next 3 to sell a challenge pack, or there's going to be some type of thing to be in our team. And so I'll give you those details when I know them for sure, but that's what Kenz and I were kind of brainstorming. Day 1 of Team Cup, so when the competition officially starts, is February. Ends February 28th. So all of February is when Team Cup happens. And so basically what you do is that you and your 4 other coaches work to get the most cup points. And so this is how you earn cup points. So for every Success Club point, so just like I said before, you get Success Club points for challenge packs you sell and or home direct orders. So for every Success Club point you sell, you get 1, or Success Club point, you get 1 cup point. So those are just interchangeable. Every time you rank advance, so if you hit Emerald during February, you get, I think it's 3 points. From my understanding, I think it's 3. Or if you have a coach, so if you sign a coach that also rank advances. So for example, if Stephanie hits Emerald, she's going to get 3 points, but I also would get 3 points. And then registering for Summit. So if you register for Summit during February, you will get Team Cup points. And I think it's 2. Don't quote me on that. see her? She was like down farther. Okay, so Team Cup, I'm so excited about it. It's a way to push. It's like just a competition. I'm a very competitive person, so it pushes me kind of out of my comfort zone to aim for bigger things. I don't know, I'm super excited. And Nish, you are still at school. I can't, well, you're muted. You're muted. I can't hear you. Okay, you're unmuted. Why are you at school?
We're having our Girl Scout meeting at the high school. So.
Oh, you're so great. Okay, I'm going to mute you again. Okay, next announcement. Next announcement. I don't know if you guys saw, but the next Success Club, this is the next Success Club trip. So I'm going to explain what Success Club trips are because I didn't totally understand it until like last year. So based on your Success Club points, you get invited to go to a trip. And so this year you'll see coaches going on a cruise, and it's all paid for, complete, like all you have to do is get there. Everything else is paid for. And so the way it works is like in 2018, you technically earn it. And then in 2019, you like pay it off. But the super cool thing is that like, even if you didn't like, so like I won't get an invite based on 2018. I'll get an invite based on my Success Club points now. So a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I wasn't a coach, then I can't get in. Like I barely was coaching in 2018, I can't get in. I can name very, very many coaches that are on the cruise this year, that didn't actually start coaching until like October of last year. So like you can earn the points. In our team page, there's a list. You want to sign up for it. Just sign up for it because then that just tells Beachbody like, hey, I want to go on this trip. Like if I earn it, like I want to go, invite me. So make sure you get on that list, and then basically they'll just email you and you'll get to go. And I remember when they were there because like I signed up in 2018 and they were like, I remember seeing pictures from this trip and like they've gone there and they loved it. So I'm so excited for this trip. Kate just booked her room because she was elite. She's elite, so she got to book her room already. And I'm so excited about this. So in case you didn't have enough like want or need to get Success Club points to work your business, this is a super simple way. Honestly speaking, so they take like the top, I don't know, so many coaches in the network. If you hit Success Club every month, you're gonna get invited. So like it's not like you have to have like ridiculously, you don't have to have like 60 Success Club points a month. Like if you're just hitting Success Club 5, Success Club 10, there's so many like discount coaches that don't ever do that. You're gonna be top of the network. So it's super easy to get on these trips. I'm so excited about it. Next trip, which most of you know about, but I'm just gonna reiterate, Kate is doing that top 10 trip, the top 10 in her downline, so that includes you guys. Again, completely paid for, all expenses paid. Hers is on a resort, so food, alcohol, all of it paid for. All you need to do is get there. She's taking the top 10. These are her, like, this is what you have to do. Right now, not one person is qualified. Like, right now, out of the whole upline, nobody is qualified to go. So, like, you want to look at like me, like the diamonds, we're not qualified, or like even Sydney, who's a 5-star diamond, not qualified yet. So the things that she has, McKenna, hi, we can't hear you, but hi. Her qualifications are you need to be a 1-star diamond, and I know that might sound far away, but like if you look at like Kate or Sydney or even me, like I'm so close to 1-star and it hasn't even been a year yet. This trip isn't until next year. So you have all year to do it. Kate, is now a 6-star diamond. She did that in a year. Sydney did did 5-star in less than a year. So getting to 1-star diamond is not impossible. I don't want you to think like, oh, I can't do that and shut down. Super doable. You have the whole year to do it. So there's that. And then I think it's 8 out of the 12 months you have to hit Success Club. So those are the two like stipulations. So if you do both those things, then you're like in the ranking to be the top 10. And she said, I'm taking 10. I have 10 spots, but if only 5 of you qualify, I'm taking all 5 of you. So like get to 1 star, get your Success Club points, and then like you've already done so many hurdles, there's a good chance you're in that top 10. Super excited about that trip too. There's no way I'm not going. I've already told her I'm going and bringing people on my team. So like you guys are so coming. Summit. I like can't even say enough about Summit. Summit is the biggest coach event all year. So like last weekend we had Super Saturday, and it was like kind of like a mini summit, but not really. So because they're all over, Coach Summit has coaches from all over the United States, the UK and Canada, and it is huge. Like this workout last year, we worked out with 20,000 people, like in the streets of Indianapolis. So there are a lot of coaches there, and the momentum, like the energy is like just contagious, and like being surrounded by other coaches that are passionate and excited, like it literally will change your entire business. Like I went as an Emerald coach, and I cannot tell you how much I learned. Like you get like trainings from top coaches, and you just get to see your coaches too, which is cool. Like I had never met Kate, and so when I went, I got to meet Kate, and I got to meet Sydney, and I like got to see what their everyday life looks like how they run their business, how they think about placing people, just like normal conversations that I didn't know anything about, because I was a baby coach. Summit was in June or July, and I signed up in March. So I was like at the very, 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 very last week of March. So I was like a brand new baby coach. I barely knew anything. But Coach Summit literally changed my business. Right now, the Summit tickets are on sale. It's in Indianapolis. I don't remember the dates. But Mackenzie and I are looking at getting a hotel room for you guys to split. Saving a hotel room, and then you guys can just split it. So I want you guys, I think if you want to take this business seriously, you need to be at Summit. Hi. Summit will literally change your life. And so if you want to be successful, if you want to make it, Summit is going to be a game changer. You just get to learn so freaking much. Plus, if any of you are reading any of Rachel Hollis's anything, if you know who Rachel Hollis is, she's speaking at Summit. So on top of Summit is already an amazing experience, she is an amazing speaker. She's an amazing motivator. She knows network marketing. She literally built her business on, she says, a high school degree. Hey, are you going to coach too? I heard you're going to coach. She built her business on a high school degree in Google. That's what she always says, a Google bar. But she has so much knowledge. So her alone is enough reason to be there. This I think is my last announcement. Coach sneak peek. Next week, Mackenzie, this is Mackenzie if you don't know Mackenzie. Mackenzie and I are running a coach sneak peek. And that, I don't know if I think some of you have been in a coach sneak peek. I don't know if all of you have been. That's just a group that we run, and we give all the ins and outs of coaching. So we'll talk about what a coach is. We'll talk about how money works. We're going to talk about time and task, what you need to do to be a coach, just all the information. And so I want you guys to add people to this group. I want you guys to get in and just add people. Mackenzie and I are going to run the whole thing. But so over the next week, it starts on Monday. So over the next week, if you look at that tracker for the Falling in Love with Consistency, it has coach invites. You can invite to the sneak peek. You can just say, hey, we're running this free group that has all the information about coaching going on, and I just wanted to know if you would like to jump in and be a fly on the wall. You can invite to that, and that would count as a coach invite because you're kind of planting that seed. And then you can just add them or give them the link, and they can add themselves to the coach sneak peek. Try to get 10 people into the group. That should be a goal, because just statistically speaking, 1 in 10 is the number, 1 in 10. So if you get 10, then you statistically should get somebody out of it. But we'll be running that starting Monday. So just start talking about it. You listen to my story. I started talking about it a little bit today. Yeah, So get into it. I'll post the link in our team page so you guys can get into it and then add people into it. Okay, so what I want to talk about, I realized, I think I was talking, I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking to one of you, and I realized that I don't think a lot of you know how I became a coach or why I started any of this. And so I just kind of wanted to share some of that and go backwards, because I think that your story just has this huge power. And so for me, it took me a really long time to learn my story. And I want you guys to know the power that your story holds for you guys. And so I just want to share a little bit about my story. You guys know me, so I introduce myself, and you know my animals, my Kiara and my Tiger Lily. But I love this quote that owning your story is the bravest thing you will ever do, because to own your story is to know who you are, to like be okay with who you are, and like be vulnerable enough to tell other people about it. And I think that's so scary sometimes. So like to be able to do that well is so brave, but it's one of the biggest things that are going to impact your business. It's going to impact your life. It's going to make you feel stronger. It's going to help you get to know who you are better the more you share your story and you own who you are. So it's super, super important. Okay, so this is me. If you don't actually, like Sam, you know me, so you've probably seen me through all these stages in life. That first picture was me in high school. That second picture was when I dyed my hair purple and nobody told me it was a terrible idea in college. And then the picture all the way on the right is me now. And so I think this, even the pictures tells a whole lot about my story. When I was in high school, I had zero self-worth. And when I say zero, like I literally didn't, I thought that I was cool if I was somebody's girlfriend. That was the only like self-worth I had. I did whatever my boyfriend told me to do. I was completely like brainwashed, but I wouldn't let anybody think that. I was literally somebody else's property. Like I wanted to pretend like I was so cool and like I wanted to fit in, but like my boyfriend at the time, because I had a bajillion, like I dated people and then I would like break up with them and date somebody else and break up with them and date somebody else, could tell me to stand on my head for 10 minutes every day and I would have done it. Like I did whatever they did and thought the way they thought because I wanted somebody to love me. Like I didn't have any self-worth in myself. I just wanted to be loved. And so I went into college like that. And so my first couple years, I was in a pretty serious as you can get at 18 relationship. And then I jumped straight into another relationship, and that other relationship was not the best relationship for me, and it literally tore me down. So I already had about zero self-confidence, and I was in this relationship that like he constantly was telling me I wasn't good enough, and I couldn't think on my own. Like I was just completely torn down. I literally remember all my friends hated him because he was so mean to me, and I would like cry every day. And I would ignore them because I was like, but he loves me, like, but he loves me. And like, I just wanted that love so, so, so much. And I distinctly even remember like leaving and sleeping in my minivan in the parking lot of Walmart because like, that's how bad it was, but I still would go back to him. And like, I just had no ability to like stand my own ground and to say who I was. And so I moved to Florida and I was still dating him. But when we broke up, I like plummeted to the ground. I was already like really, unstable. But when we officially broke up, I just nosedived into the ground. I pretty much never left my bed unless it meant drinking or being with some other boy. Or if I had to go to work. I was teaching Sunday school at the time, and so I would go to church on Sunday, teach Sunday school, but I couldn't bring myself to walk into the church. So like Sunday school was in the gym, and then I would leave because I couldn't walk into the church because I knew that I just wasn't at a place that like I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to walk into church. Like I didn't deserve to be there, and that people were gonna know that I wasn't good enough. I had this like facade going on. and I was so scared that people would see through it. I just knew, like, I felt like the second I walked in and somebody was like, hey, I was going to start bawling. And I, like, couldn't handle that because, like, I, quote unquote, don't do emotions. I don't like people to know that I'm not doing well. I like to pretend like I have it all together. And so the thought of walking into church, not feeling comfortable, knowing that I was, like, living this, like, lie of a life because I was probably out until 3 o'clock in the morning, like, wasted the night before, and maybe even in bed with somebody that night. And so I just had a really, really, really hard time. When I kind of started to climb out of that little by little, I dove into work. And so some of you are teachers, not all of you are teachers, but, like, it's so easy as a teacher to let your work take over your life. It's so easy to feel like all you are is a teacher, or all you are is, and I know that all of you are very serving people, so, like, whether that's being a mom or being a whatever, like, you just feel like it's so easy to let that take over your life and that be your only identity. I was only a teacher. I would wake up at, like, 6 in the morning and I would prep things for school. I would go to school. I would stay there till 6 p.m., come home, do more schoolwork, fall asleep, doing schoolwork, wake up and do more. Like, I, like, ate, slept, and breathed school. Like, I didn't let myself think. Looking back now, I know that that was me numbing. I was scared to feel my emotions. I was hurt. I was broken, and I wasn't, like, aware enough to know how to handle that. And so I numbed it with work. Literally the same way as an alcoholic would numb whatever emotional hurt with alcohol, or, like, a drug addict would use drugs. That is what I was doing with work. I didn't let myself stop to breathe, because when I stopped, I felt hurt. Like, I felt pain. I didn't feel okay, which wasn't helpful. And so I started watching I started watching Sydney, and I started watching Kate, and I just, like, the friendship that they had and how happy that they were, like, I didn't understand, because I had not had that in so long. I didn't know what it felt like to have those real friendships. I didn't know what it was like to, like, be happy without having a boyfriend, because my happiness, my worth, my everything came from a boyfriend, and I didn't know how to do that. And so when Kate reached out to me, I had zero interest in working out and zero interest in eating healthy. Like, I did not care. I just wanted to be friends with Kate. Like, I just needed a friend. I just needed community. I just needed somebody who was going to push me. And, like, I don't know, I needed that happiness that I saw them have. And I didn't understand how to get it other than by surrounding myself with them. And so when she asked me to be to work out with her, I was like, I'm broke. I have no money. Like, I'm a teacher. I wasn't living alone, but my roommate was about to move out. And so, like, I have no money. I basically am about to live on my own. I'm on a teacher salary. I have nobody down here to help me. But, like, I just need this community so much. Okay, fine. And I literally, like, swiped my credit card and just, like, prayed. Like, I was like, I don't really have this money, but, like, I need this. Like, I don't know how else to make it work. And I was probably the worst challenger, because I started and I was like, I'm not changing my nutrition. I literally ate Cheetos and, like, for dinner, and, like, packs of Oreos, and, like, my nutrition was terrible. And I had this mindset where I was like, I don't need to do it. I don't need to eat well. Like, I'm an athlete. I'm fine. I'll be fine. And so I was the worst challenger. And so I wasn't getting results. And then I wasn't really necessarily the friendships that I wanted. So I wanted to be friends with Kate and Sydney. Like, that's all I wanted in life, was to be friends with Kate and Sydney. And so they were coaches, and I didn't understand that I was a challenger and they were a coach. Like, that didn't make sense to me. And when I signed up, I said I was never going to be a coach, but I was doing everything they were doing. So, like, I saw Kate and Sydney post on their Instagrams. So I was posting on my Instagrams. I was sharing my workout. Eventually, when I started to dabble in the nutrition plan, I would share some of that. And Kate asked me to be a coach, and I kept saying no, because I refused. I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I didn't understand it. I was not going to be like schemed. I wasn't going to fail. I wasn't going to do any of that. I adamantly told her no for months, to the point where like, Crystal's on here. Okay, so the point to where people were asking me what I was doing, and I was telling them everything. Oh, this is what I do. It's Beachbody On Demand. I absolutely love it. Let me tell you all about it. Oh, but I'm not a coach. Go talk to my coach and she'll sign you up. And I was doing that over and over and over and over. And Crystal is one of the people that reached out to me before I was a coach. And she like asked me and I told her about it. And I remember this very distinctively. She said, quote, "If you become a coach, then I'll do it. Like I will be your client." And I remember like that in combination with Kate saying, "You just handed me $300 and me being like, what? Like I'm a broke teacher. I don't have that money. Like I don't. So like the combination is somebody saying like, "I want you to be my coach." And then Kate being like, "Look at the money that you just lost out on because you're not a coach, but you're coaching anyway." That's like what made me commit to coaching. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Like I can't let this girl down. Like she needs to feel how excited I am. She needs to see that she is worthy in this. And so I don't know if you know that, Crystal. So you were the reason that I actually signed up as a coach. So that's how I got to be a coach. And then from then on, I have grown so much. As a beginning coach person, I was like, I'm never doing PD. I don't need PD. I'm the worst client. I'm the worst person ever. Don't be me. Because I was like, I'm never doing that. You're wrong. You don't need PD. You don't need to read personal development. I don't need to follow the nutrition plan. And I just wouldn't do things. I didn't believe in shakes either. And so I just refused to do things. And then when I started to do them, when I did PD, it literally has changed my life. Like I've realized my own worth. I've become so much more confident. I'm able to do things I would have never done before. I can't tell you how many times I said to Kate, I'm not a leader. I can't lead people. But like, look at me now. I'm like leading you guys. And so PD literally has changed my life. So like make sure you're doing PD. And just do the things that other people are telling you to do. So like there's very consistently, people are very consistently telling you to do very similar things. You know, do your PD, show up for yourself, do your workouts, like drink your shakes. Don't be me and refuse to do things because you think you're too cool, because you're not. Like, and I learned very hard that I wasn't. And when I started doing those things, I was like, oh wow, that it does work. Oh wow, these people are right. So like show up and do the things and it's gonna be fine. And we talked about this the other day. Stay on your escalator. Very, very simply put, stay on your escalator. This is just like an example of when I fell off my escalator. I was actually looking through my money income for the past year to do taxes. And when I started out as a coach, you could see the passion. You could see it in my money. I was like, wow, look at how much money I was making. And you can see where I lost my passion, where I lost my why, where I stopped working, showing up because I didn't know what I was doing. So when I got off my escalator and I let that escalator bring me back to the ground, you can see it in my income. And you can see how long it took me to get back up to what I was making when I started. So just don't be me. And hold on to your why, because it's not worth losing. It's not worth getting off your escalator to have to start all over. And then this is a quote that I just love. Live your life from your heart, share from your heart, and your story will touch and heal people's souls. I'm just gonna read that one more time. Live your life from your heart, share from your heart, and your story will touch and heal people's souls. When I started, I didn't have an Instagram filter. I didn't have, like, my Instagram was a hot mess. I didn't know how to talk in stories. I literally knew nothing about the business, but I loved the program. I knew that the program worked. I loved I loved how I was feeling. And so, like, when I was sharing from my heart, just passionately, even though I didn't know anything, it was like, people feel that. And so I was touching people, and they could feel that, and they wanted to come, and they wanted to work with me. When I lost my why, and I was doing all my things, nobody hung out with me. Like nobody wanted to sign up. Nobody wanted to do anything because I wasn't being authentic and I wasn't sharing me. So like own your story, share your heart, and everything else is going to fall into place. So like literally everything else will. Yeah. So that's pretty much my thing for the day. Do you guys have any questions? We have like 7 minutes. Do you have any questions? Anything about anything? No. I'm going to stop sharing, but I want to just talk super quick about the Falling in Love with Consistency group, because I don't think somebody is going to go live, but I know a lot of you guys are on the East Coast. So like, I'm just going to tell you guys what you need to know, and just because it's easier because we're here. Okay, so the way it's going to work is it's 30 days. So we're going to end on February 14th. What you need to do is fill out that tracker every single day and turn it in every single day. And if you miss something on your tracker, you're out. So like you need to do every single thing on that tracker every single day for 30 days. And I promise you your business is going to flip. Like you're going to feel consistent. You're going to realize it's not as scary as it seems. You're going to be able to, you're going to feel more confident. It's going to push you at the beginning, but it's going to be worth it. I also want you to like think about your business. So I did the same tracker for a really long time, but I don't send 15 invites. I send 75. So know where you're at in your business. Start with 15, totally fine. If you're like, okay, I feel comfortable sending 15 and you want to send more, totally fine. In those bubbles, so there's like bubbles, it says challenger group invites or something, and then there's bubbles. Write down the initials or the Instagram handle or the name of the person that you invite, so that like we can see that there's a name there. Coach invites can be to the coach sneak peek, and it also can be like my example was Samantha. When I invited her, I was like, oh my goodness, Samantha, like you're literally such an inspiration or such a light. Like, and I talk about the things that are going to make her an amazing coach. So if you see somebody on your Instagram that like you relate to in some way, you see somebody that's really into fitness and like already sharing about it, like talk them up and tell them how like great they are and all the things you see that would make them great. And then just say like, hey, have you ever thought about doing what I do? If not, no big deal. I just thought I would ask. That's kind of a coach invite. And then make sure you're posting whatever it says. So a fitness post or a coach post, whatever it says every day. Do the things that said on your story. So every one of those things need to be checked off. If you don't have a success partner, Monday. If you don't have a success partner, because some of you do, some of you don't yet, you can count me right now and we will get you a success partner. A success partner is just somebody in the business that you just check in with. So right now, some of you guys are just starting and you haven't had a chance to do any of that. Totally fine. If you check in with me, you can just mark off that box. No big deal. You can do the tracker on your phone. You can print it out. You can do it on an iPad. You could do it on a computer. I don't really care how you do it. It really doesn't. I have no preference. Just make sure that it's done and turned in before midnight. And then what will happen is we're going to be keeping track. Know that we also will be doing like I will be doing random inventories of your guys' Instagram. So like if, I don't know, Crystal says that she checked it all off and I go and look and I notice that it's not all there, I'm going to say like, hey, I thought you said you did all this. Like you didn't, so know that I'm going to be like checking you guys. Yep. Just screenshot it or take a picture of it or whatever. Depends on however you have it, and just put it in the comments every day. So just like what I posted today with how I said day one, it had that like check thing, just in that comments, there's going to be one of those every day. Do you guys have any questions about that? Any other questions? The tracker or just the group in general? I'm going to try to do this week like a guided power hour where we all can get on and do it together. Hopefully tomorrow is my plan. If not, I'll do it later this week. That way I'm just there to be able to answer questions. If you don't know, like say you like invite somebody you don't know, and you don't know what to do, just screenshot it and send it to me. And like I can walk you through a conversation, or I can like help you through something. Oh yeah, I am. I saw that. It's okay. I think the group is going to be literally amazing. And my friend just did it, and everybody, I think they walked out with like $30 at the end because people were dropping. So don't be somebody that drops, be consistent so that you can, make some money. It's going to kick us off in a minute. The Desire Empire call is at 9 o'clock. So if you have time, jump on that. And I will see you guys later, and I will post this in the team page. Wait, don't leave. Let me take a picture. Sorry. Okay, ready? Smile. Crystal, are you there? It's going to kick me off. We're going to try. Can you? Oh, perfect. Okay, we're going to do that again. Okay, ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, awesome. I will talk to you guys later. Great job making your business a priority, and I love you all. Bye.